What's going on, everybody? Philip Trom here. You can call me Bobby if you want. Um, Today we got a lot to talk about, and I'm really looking forward to this one because I had a pretty crazy dream last night. So, without getting too crazy about things, I'm going to start with a little something else until more people get here. Now, what I'm going to start with is a long, long time ago. I was in the United States Army. Um, It was quite a experience, I'll say that. Apparently, my story is a little bit different from others. Now, I wouldn't have known that until I got out. Um, Before I left, these guys came in who were officials of the government. They weren't allowed to tell me who they were, um, but I would imagine they were either NSA, CIA, or someone like that for the questions they ended up asking me. The first thing they started asking me was about my dreams. Now, I couldn't tell you what I told them back then because I can't. I dream so much, it doesn't matter now. The next question they asked me was, "Do my dreams ever come true?" Then they asked me, "Do I believe in aliens? Do I believe that I meet up with aliens when I'm sleeping at nighttime?" Um, all these questions were answered or asked and answered. Now, when I got to basic, um, weird things happened. My folder was being put separately from everybody else's. Now I took that as okay, maybe my blood is different, or O positive. Maybe they need O positive for if someone's dying. My blood would be the first to be able to be used. That's how I took it. Um, then things got weird. I was being separated from everybody else. Um, in the middle of the night, I would wake up and I wasn't where I was supposed to be on base. I would wake up, and this area is very, very cold. Where in South Carolina, I never lived there except for in basic. But while in South Carolina, wherever I was extremely cold. And when I woke up, I'd always be in my parka and completely naked. So I don't know if I was sleepwalking, maybe because a lot was going on, situational change. I was living in a new place. That's how I took it. The more and more that this went on, I was starting to have um, more or less the phenomena of feeling other people's empathy or their pain, or I was feeling as if like um, I was feeling other people's um, sadness. I knew what they were going to say before they were going to say it just by the expression and look on their face. And I couldn't understand why this was happening to me. So on one specific night, um, I don't know if I was drugged or what happened, but I woke up and there I was on the bottom bunk and there was a wall at my bottom bunk, and the way it looked to me was that there's basically a doorway that I went into my room, my childhood room from when I was a kid. So the door room thing opened, and like I kind of went in, and it was more or less, and I was living in a nightmare. It felt like any nightmare that you ever had in your life, where everything is going wrong, nothing seems right. You're more or less being stalked. That's the feeling. That's the feeling that I had. So with that, I feel like now I'm in a mirror. Like I'm in this other place that is looking like my room. Everything looked perfect to be my room in my childhood. And now I'm looking back, and there was no mirror on the wall. We had bunk beds, my brother and I. And on the wall that I went into, there was, bunk beds. So now I'm trying to like push to get back on the other side of this wall. And I got like, yeah, no, I've been sick too, brother. I'm just getting better now. But okay, so speed things up. Basically, the wall shattered and went like everything shattered in front of me, and I basically fell into my bunk. So now I'm in my bunk with the army, and I'm in kind of like a deep sleep, being moved around. I don't really know exactly what's going on. I felt like I was on an airplane, and we went. We were wherever we were was very very cold, because on the runway, we got down, we landed, and I remember seeing ice, or I should say snow, not ice, snow on the sides of everything. And there was a bunker, I guess you could call it, a huge bunker that the plane went inside of. And there was a nurse there, and she was like, what's going on? What's he for? Blah blah blah. And they're like, oh, he's one of the guys. He's got it. And I still to this day don't know what that meant. Now from then on, I kind of have a blackout. But what I do remember is waking up, and I'm standing in this room, and basically there were um, okay, in Egypt, they always show where they found those bull bones. Like, I think it's alien bones or giant bones, but they say there was bull bones inside those. We would call them uh, a person when they die, they go to. It doesn't even matter. So they were in the middle of the room, and they were stacked like this. There was one here, 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 and then at the front. Now, I remember a sergeant or something saying that the ones in the front were the most powerful, and to be closest to the obelisks. There's three of them, as I remember. To be the closest to the obelisks, um, that meant you were the closest to God, more or less, the closest to the highest spiritual being that was there. Um, and I'm kind of like freaking out. I don't know if it's like a dream. I don't know if like if I'm hallucinating this. I don't know how they brought me in here. This is kind of like an overnight type thing. So what I remember is this black obelisk, and it glowed down green, and it seemed like blood was falling on top of it. And I just wanted to get out of there. There's this like there's this head thing that would like go all around the room, and it looked like it was assessing everybody. It would assess me, the doctors, the other soldiers that were there. And when it came to you to look in your face, you had to kind of stand at attention and clear your mind. Uh, and yeah, that was fucked up. I'm sorry, I'm getting a little too far into it, and it's giving me kind of an anxiety. So anyway, I wanted to get that off my chest, and I never really told that story before, so now you guys have heard it. So I had a dream last night, and the dream went like this. So in the dream, there's a train coming. This train is easily swaying through snow and mountains. Um, it seems like, I don't know, somewhere in the Arctic, or somewhere like in a place where ice is on mountains, high mountains at that. So there's been a major train incident. Small children they end up dying. Uh, but it seems so that they were already dead. 6 men will shake hands, but a woman has been chosen. She watches everything. This woman either will be chosen as like a bride for Lucifer, or she's a bride already. Um, there's a so I walk up, and I'm standing in front of a door. Um, they invite me inside. From inside the door, looking out, I see these stars, which are planets. I look out from the door, and the stars, they look beautiful. Like, it's unbelievable. Um, it was as if they could actually enter your home. They're so perfectly in line, right there in front of the door. Then the sky had turned very, very red, like blood red, like a summer night. As the sky had traded with the moon had turned red. I'm guessing an eclipse was going on. So I wanted to see the planets, but they were on the other side of the house. The moon is on this side of the house by where the ocean's going to be, and the planets were on the other side where you look out the front door. So I see people in cloaks. They're shown, they're shown in. They're invited, but to be invited, they were walked through the house to be let out. They were not allowed to stay. They weren't invited to stay. So I walk out and I see a beach. The stars I wanted to see are behind us now. The sky is now dark. The water turns red as blood. As it hits my shoes, it seems like blood. Now a wave hits my pants, and I look up and I see the cloaks that these people were wearing. Now these were white cloaks. Now they're shimmering in red from, the reflection of the moon, making it look like blood. Um, the water is as red, and I see a storm in the distance. The storm and lightning are just flashing and flashing like lightning bolts are coming down. It wasn't even ominous. It was actually very beautiful. And I hear somebody say, "Aminos, dominos, logicos, aminos, avioso, dominosa." That's the best I got out of it. I don't know Latin, so that's what I remembered from what I heard. All of a sudden, everything froze. The water was frozen, and I noticed that there was lightning coming down, and the lightning was this bluish asteroids began falling down, into the water. It was amazing. So between these asteroids and these lightning bolts, um, I didn't know what was going on. It was basically it felt like hell on earth or something like it. I never seen anything like it. So um, the water freezes red, and literally I'm looking up and it's snowing. Now the sky, there's no clouds. Even the waves, as they were now frozen in place, um, they're further out. I heard something crashing against the ice. It was men of many different uniforms, like army uniforms. Like they had Russian flags, they had Korean flags, both north and south. A couple of guys had Jewish flags. It looked like there was oil, like sludge, coming off of it. Black goo is the way that I wrote it here, running down the powdered blue star. A helmet with three triangles. They could have been pyramids. Maybe it was just a 3D triangle. I really don't know. Um, then a piece of paper I saw. It was kind of being held in the snow. It was getting stained red. So I saw a city with huge towers. Um, I don't think there were buildings in America, not that I've ever seen. In the middle, I saw hills. A train the train now looked red with blood because the piece of paper had gotten wet. So now this piece of paper that was a map or whatever it was no longer a train. It looked like a snake. In the middle, I saw hills. The train now was running through it. It looked like a snake with a human face. The people around me were now falling into the water. They don't fall completely in though because of the dead soldiers. Um, I saw offshore a giant oil rig. It was on its side. The water now is turned jet black, and on over the jet black, it looked red as blood. I don't know if it was the moon making it look like that, or if there was actually blood. Everything was like very thick, very black. It was oozing. Um, the focus on the cloaks, uniforms, even the sand. I had to find something to get out of there. So there was like a jetty offshore, and so I made a way for it. I get to it, and I'm praying for assistance. Please God, Please, Jesus, somebody, please just help me. Any archangel or any angel in the vicinity, please help me. Um, and then my girl said, apparently I woke up and I was asking, did God see it? I did my job right. God did see it, right? And that's how I woke up. But yeah, I know it's a lot, but that's what happened. And I want to get your thoughts on this. You know that I love to see your comments. I already said that I'm supposed to be looking at these because things are getting crazy. My day's going pretty good. Yeah, I'm getting over the flu too. I think the dreams that I'm having are from the fever, probably. No problem at all. I love talking to you guys. You guys are the best. BB gun here. That's funny. Yeah, the real guns are downstairs. No soccer. Hey, Russia. I hope that everything's cool over there. Looks like you guys are gonna win the war. As you know, you guys were winning anyway. It was just no telling when you guys were gonna win. But things should get better over there now. You guys can make some money off your off your resources and such. Thank you so very much. You know, we're gonna need it in the next few days. We're definitely gonna have the baby. It seems like she's about ready to pop. My my mouth is so parched from telling that story. I will be right back. Like the oh man. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that, guys. I really had to get a drink. All right, let's see what you guys got here going on. All right. What do you mean? What can I help with? Stardust. I'm always here to assist in any way I can. And if there are anyone, any negative people here trying to make chaos, we'll toss them. There's no need for them. We're not here for that. If they're not part of this, then they're not going to be part of this, and there's no need for them to be here. Those of you that are part of this and are going through this, collectively together with us, I love to have you here, and that's who really I'm here for. I'm here for you guys, as you are here for me. I love you guys. You guys really are the best. So let me see where we're coming to now. And like I said, I'm gonna try to answer any questions I can as much as I can. I got you the army story, and the army story goes to this. This is where the army story leads. So, have you guys ever heard of in Iraq? There was a portal there, in the beginning of the war. I listen. I don't know if that's why we were there or not. I'm not gonna go and say that. I have no idea. But what I do know is that my company was supposed to be protecting that area. One night we were driving around. We were preparing our grid for. We were supposed to get some company in the next couple of days by some higher authorities. We didn't know if they were coming by chopper, Humvee. We didn't know, but what we did know is we wanted to check the grid. So we're out, and the next thing we know, there's about six black Humvees, and they come pulling up next to us. Or the way that this went was, we had four. The way this went was, uh, three of their guys came in and basically funneled in between us and drew us apart. So the lead three, they hit the brakes immediately. Uh, I was in the fifth car, so I see the car in front of us stop. I actually our driver got beside him in a T formation. I'm taking basically the east. He's got north, and we're basically trying to cut them in half, as they had now cut us in half. But we're going to use that to our advantage. So next thing we know, we hear a guy on a bullhorn. First guy speaking Iraqi, and we're like, what the hell is this? They're not telling us what to do. We own your country right now. We're the boss. So the craziest thing in the world happens. A black helicopter comes out of nowhere. Now this thing was silent. We had no idea where this frickin' thing came from. He lands, comes down, and he goes, under the authority of the United Nations government, and that be, they went over the detail resolution 1444, blah blah blah. They're going over, and there's no questions asked. Like, they're telling us how this is going to go. So my captain, he says, can I see the paperwork? No, you cannot see the paperwork. We're telling you how this is going to go. We're in charge now. So we're trying to tell them, we are, we're checking the grid around so, we can run this chopper through in a couple of days when you guys do your thing. So he goes, no, 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 this is private security, Blackwater, Wagner. They said like four different groups. Two of them were major, like badasses out of England. Like, they were something different. Like, these guys had the 1,000 yard stare, plus infinity. They were bad. So one of the guys comes over to me and is like, at first he took the handkerchief off my chest. So I grab him. He grabs my arm. He goes to try to snap it. He wasn't ready for me. I hit his toe, buckled his knee, and we're rolling around like a couple of like a couple of hockey players are just doing our thing. So finally, his guy gets him, my guy gets me, and him and me are kind of like laughing it off now. He's like, "Do you know what do you know what the hell you guys just ran into? Do you know what's here?" And we're like, "No, this is under orders. These are our orders. We're protecting." He goes, "Well, you guys got yourselves into some shit now." So we end up following them back. We had to make calls back to the authority, and they told us what we were watching was, how did they say it? We were watching something highly sought after by basically everybody. The whole world wanted this thing, and there's others in existence. Where Iraq is not the only one. And in the Bible, they actually talk about this furnace, where you can see the Messiah, you can see the future, you can ask your questions and you'll get your answers. But you have to be pure of heart, just like everything else. Just like when you have I don't know if I've ever told you guys the story of the Spear of Destiny. My grandmother, she was in Austria-Hungary, and where she lived, that's where the Spear of Destiny was held. So Himmler and his boys, they came in like gangsters, and they're going after the Spear of Destiny. That's what they wanted. So my grandmother, they were in school that day, and they let out because they wanted to present the Spear of Destiny. This is God's blood is on this thing. And my grandmother's teacher says to her, "Yes, God's blood is on that. And yes, that is the Spear of Destiny. But if your heart is not pure, everything good that you think that you've done will turn to black." And my grandmother said, from that day on, you could see the Reich falling just all around it. Nothing good came out of wielding the Spear of Destiny. And whenever anybody talks about, taking over the world with a relic, I think it goes a little bit beyond that. So anyway, we're at Earth, and we weren't allowed to see the choppers, but I did talk to a couple of the guys, and they said that there was some sort of portal, and they needed they needed pieces of it, and they needed the perfection of the writing that was on it because it was so old. It was from a time of when um, angelic beings had written the properties of how to use this thing. Now, listen, guys, I'm not. I didn't see the thing. I'm not telling you that I saw the thing. I'm telling you a story that I was at when they were moving um, the relic. Now, my problem with the story is I'm sure that they did move the relic because they moved us out of there. Those black Humvees, those guys weren't playing, and if anyone did play, they would have killed with no problem. So whatever was there was real and did work. Um, I believe that they took that thing right to Geneva, and I'm sure it's at CERN now, or a place like CERN, and they're doing the things that they need to do to open the portals. That's why we're seeing all the stuff we're seeing in the sky. It's here. You guys already know it. Let me see here. Let's get some questions. All right, let's see here. I love life and love. You guys are the best. Yeah, no, yeah. Hey, yo, four. I completely agree, and that's really is what it is. Um, Eat Drell. I think that's how you say your name. I hope that you stay by and stop by whenever you can. I love that you're here, and um, it's not that I'm trying to keep it with the conspiracy theories. I try to back up my personal experiences that I've had myself with the truths that are out there, and those truths seem to open doors for me that I'm allowed to look into for at least a brief time. And I try to show you guys through my videos as much as I can. Yeah, I thank you so much. Yeah, truth beating conspiracy. I'm with you 100%. And know why I'm with you is because the only part of conspiracy is the part of the person that is saying that it's a conspiracy to hide a truth that is usually the conspiracy itself. So I appreciate you being here. You make this fun. This show probably would have fell off, and I was really about to end it about after that last girl that I was married to that she was cliff or what was she doing, cliff diving or no, not that. It was anyway. She fell off a cliff and I think she's dead, but who knows? Anything could happen to her. Not sure. I haven't really been keeping tabs. So portals and doors. Yeah, I'm past that now. All right, check this out. I got one for you guys, and you guys are gonna like this one because I get this one gets me all tight when I talk about it. So the Nazis, right? Check this out. In the book of Isaiah, Lucifer says, "When I return, it'll be on the wings of an eagle. I will ascend to the Most High. I will rise above the clouds. I will rise above the stars and principalities, and I will be like the Most High." Right? Yeah. We're going to do this slowly because I want you to get it all. The Nazi eagle, right? Let's start with that. The Nazi eagle is the wings of an eagle. Okay. The reason why the Nazis use that eagle is because of the archangels. The archangels have, the wings of an eagle, and you'll see that throughout history. That's why they use it. Past that, Lucifer also talks about how he will return on, lightning. It'll be as quick as lightning, and strike wherever he strikes. He'll strike twice. Okay, that's two. These are both in Isaiah. Now, I don't know if you know anything about runes, but what did the SS Nazis wear as an insignia on their uniforms. Two lightning bolts. Okay. Now, Lucifer is a being who believes he is of perfect manner, perfect creation. He is the perfect being. Now, what were the Nazis trying to seek? Perfection, right? Perfection of man. If you ever look at their hats, they had a skull and crossbones. Now, the skull is the perfection of man. The skull is a, a human being in the semblance of God's. The being that we have a skull in physical form, and we can walk as uh, in. We are created in God's image. Okay. The bones that are on the hat underneath the skull are these bones here, thigh bones. Thigh bones are the most they're the most powerful bones in the body. They do not break. They are the bone that you would use if you were creating a house and you didn't want it to blow over, nor did you want anybody to fall through the floor. This is what it is. Now we go further with runes. Runes are known to be given to the people by the angels that fell. Um, the people that were educated by the angels um, needed a they needed to learn how to spell and create a language system, and the or aliens, the beings that fell showed them how to spell with runes. So S, when you see the SS on the collar, one S means God or of God. Two S's means ordered by God or divine order coming by a God. So, hear me out here. I'm not saying the Holocaust wasn't bad. I'm saying the Holocaust was bad. 7 million of anyone dying like that is a horrible thing. But if you look at it in God's way, if you were a God, we're not gods, but if we look at it from a God perspective, what does it say in the Bible? That the Jewish people would have to suffer 70 times over 7. 7 million Jews, 70 times over 7 to get their land back. Everything the Nazis did was in, how do we say, in ritual, more or less. And I know people are going to get mad. He's this, that, the other thing. I'm not going that route. That's not what I'm saying here. What I'm giving you are the truths in what I'm talking about. So, with that being said, again, Isaiah says, he'll rise above the clouds, he'll be like the Most High. What is it that they say in Germany to Hitler when they pass him? Sieg Heil, right? Heil Hitler, to the Most High. Heil Hitler, right? Is that right? Before that, it was you can follow this throughout history. You go to Rome, the people that killed Jesus, what did they do? For Rome, above all, right? Same thing. And you can pass this little formula as far as it goes, because what you're looking at is angelic properties that were seen and kept and are being used. I hope not now, but who knows? But what we're seeing is a we're seeing the signs all around us that these things don't change. They're always around us. Now, it's about to get crazy when I tell you this. Okay, we're past. I mean, I could go with the Nazis all night, but we're going to pass that for now. What were the Russians known for pre 1986? What was their symbol? I know you guys know, and you're probably saying it at the bottom. They're known for the Red Star, correct? Okay. Well, in uh in Revelation, what does it say? A red star will fall into the ocean, making everybody sick. And its name would be wormwood. Okay? Now, I want you to take that in for a second. Are you fully aware that the name Chernobyl in Russia literally means wormwood? That is its translation. That is what it means. Now, I'm not finished yet. If you look at what destroyed the Russian Empire, it wasn't money, it wasn't space, it wasn't war, it was Chernobyl. Chernobyl showed the people that they weren't worth it, that the machines they made weren't as good as the Americans, the machines that they came up with, they were always going to be second best. And what are we doing sending our people, human beings, flesh and blood in there like robots to be killed off like nothing? Now, if you don't think this doesn't have anything to do with World War II, World War II ended on March 26th, 1986. Okay? Do you know when Chernobyl happened? March 26th, 1986. No, I'm sorry. The war ended March 26th, 1945. I'm sorry. That's when World War II ended. March 26th, 1986 at 1 hour 1 23 minutes and 45 seconds at night. 1:23 and 45 seconds is when Chernobyl blasted off on March 26th, 1986. As let me remind you, as Halley's comet is in the sky. Wormwood, comet. Chernobyl means wormwood regardless. What we're talking about here is Revelation. We're in it. We're talking about the real deal. And if people don't believe, that's fine. That's okay. Because it's right in front of us. It's here. Um, and I can go on further and further down the rabbit hole to you. And it gets scarier and scarier. So what we got going on here now is I'm going to bring this up a little further. It's 6/6 of 2006. CERN has just found they've just found a ritual site for Romans that they found babies and all kinds of different things that were disposed of around this ritual site. This ritual site was for a god named Cernunnos or Cernunnos. Now, Cernunnos is a horned god. Sometimes he's a trickster. Sometimes he's just a straight devil. When people don't want their kids, that's where they send them. So that place, that ritual site, now belongs in Germany at one of their museums. Fair, not fair, cool, not cool. I really don't care. But what I do find very interesting is the name CERN. They actually used it. Now they broke it down into particle physics, acceleration, blah 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 blah. Who cares? Um, then they broke it into the LA or the LHC, um, Large Hadron Collider, because it was too easy to call it CERN, and CERN would have just pissed people off. So let's get deep into this. So in 2007, I want you to tell me if you remember, because this is what I remember. My memory tells me I remember police cars, ambulances, fire trucks, all kinds of medical equipment sitting in front of CERN, out front of its gates. They're trying to get in, and they wouldn't tell anybody what was going on. This is around the 5, 6 o'clock news. Now, this is what I remember. I asked my grandmother. She remembers the exact same thing. She's passed away now. But she remembered the same thing. I'm asking you, what do you remember? For me, it's vivid. It's as vivid as anything I can remember. Anything that makes sense. It's just is what it is. I looked at it as maybe a false alarm went off, and nothing happened. Nothing. Nobody died. No big deal. Somebody hit a fire alarm, and it was a test, and I moved forward. That brings us to around 2014. Now things are starting to change. I'm starting to see it in the sky. I'm starting to see it in the clouds. I'm starting to see it all around me. I'm feeling it. It's starting to show itself, if you will. Reality had changed, if you will. And I know that most of the people in this chat room right now felt the same thing because we've all talked on this. So in 2014, I didn't say anything. 2015, I was feeling it. Didn't get into it. 2016, now I'm feeling it, and now I know it's real because it's right in front of my face. It's in the sky above me. It's in the what do they call it, the clouds around me. It's real. It's happening now, and other people are seeing it too, such as yourselves. Thousands of people. I mean, 800 people on my site alone are all on the same page about what we are seeing. Um, and it's getting worse. The more and more people we're trying to show, the more and more people that are pushing back on us, meaning whatever matrix that we're in is pretty smart. It's fighting against us just like we're fighting with it. My thing is we've either it's broken through in a complete change. The dimension that we are now in is what it is, or there has been a virus that has occurred, has been let loose to begin a purge of the system. Maybe there's too many people in the system. The first purge was definitely COVID, getting rid of all the old thinking, getting rid of all the old ways of doing things. Um, it's the level of um, it was the level of working with your hands versus now not working with your hands, being more creative through thought versus being more creative with building. You know, so I'm gonna grab a drink. I want to know what you think. I'll be right back. All right, here we go. Let's see what we got here. Hopefully, we got some comments. Yeah, I agree with you. No truth or no such thing as the truth being conspiracy. 100% with you. What are they doing? They're not letting us have a conversation, are they? Wow, what assholes. Hey guys, if you're still there, try and comment because I don't know if we're having issues here or we're having I don't know what they got us going on. It seems as if we're having problems. Only 44 seconds. That's weird. So yeah, thank you so very much. Through the, I appreciate you. So, what are you thinking, that boy? What is your opinion on Are we in another dimension? Did we switch dimensions? Are we in the same dimension? Is there something that's happening around us that's different? Like, what exactly is your opinion on the change as a whole, um, as we consider all these possibilities? Now, hey, maybe it's just the way the world works. Maybe that's just where we are right now, going, as we tumble through space and the cosmos we're in. Maybe it's just what it is. I think so too. Um, Now, for me, I think that in 2017, when the dress incident happened. Now, me, I saw it as it was white, and then it was a goldish bronze color. Um, on that day, reality changed for me. Um, I saw things very, very different after that. Now, for me, I thought it was a psyop. I thought that maybe the government had done something, but that's not what was going on, because my then my then I guess she was my wife. My then wife, she freaks out. She goes, "That dress is blue and black," and she goes down the line. She's furious at me. She's like, "You're making this up. You already saw this. You always got to be different." Now, I had just woken up. I'm sitting there taking a shower. I have no idea what she's talking about. You know, all I know that it's not blue and black to me. Um, but when that happened, I do believe that something switched on us, because she showed me the picture again, and this is within, I don't know, I'll go with, I got out of the shower, put some clothes on. She's getting ready for work. Let's go with a half hour, 35 minutes. She shows me the picture again. Now she's told me about it being blue and black, right? I look at the picture. To me, it's still white, gold, and bronze. But as I'm looking at it, it literally changed in front of my face. It literally turns blue and black. My reality had completely reset. Now, what could do that? Really, what could do that unless we were in some sort of a paradox switch? And that's not the only one. The Bernstein Bears thing. Um, I remember my grandmother, and this is a couple years before. Um, this is when the paradox thing wasn't even a thing. Um, we're sitting there, and we were watching a movie, and we're looking at what was it? Australia. And for me in school, I must have been in first, second grade. I'm looking at Australia, and for me, I remember seeing a different island lower, much more close to um, what's it called, the South Pole. And my grandmother too. She's on this same exact parallel. She's remembering exactly how I'm remembering it. Like we even knew the name, like Umeria or something like that. I don't know, something like that. My grandfather now was an educator, like a real teacher, psychiatrist, the whole deal. He goes, "You guys are more or less calling us crazy that nothing was there. There had never been anything there. And, go get the globe and I'll show you." So I go down and get the globe, and sure enough, there's nothing there. There aren't even islands that should be there. Um, and that was the beginning of whatever was changing. That was a slow paradoxical change. And then Bernstein Bears, slow paradoxical change that changed the way um that we were looking at the little details. These little details had been not forgotten but replaced. And I believe that one was more for everyone. That one was for everybody to know that we were making paradoxical changes, and that they were very, very, very much possible. Then you have the Portuguese students go to, what was it, CERN, and they're looking at these, what were they? They're like billboards, more or less, huge billboards, as big as this couch would be. And on these billboards, it's saying um, in 10,000 year old Aramaic, dead languages, High German, but High German that hasn't been spoken in 5,000 years. What else did they have? Ancient Greek, which is, I mean, I don't think there's anyone that speaks that. These are um, these are languages that nobody knows. But yet, not only was there writing on it, but the writing on it made sense to whomever they were speaking with. What are you thinking? Like, what's your paradigm? Like, where do you stand with all this stuff? And that goes for everybody in the chat room if you're there. I see everybody's going to dinner, it seems, so I'll probably pack it up pretty soon anyway. But I just want to get some answers from you guys while we are here. Nah, nothing for now. Timeline has switched, and the dimensions. You're on the right track. Yeah, yeah. No. If you go to my page and you scroll down, you're gonna see two pictures of me. One's in black and white, and the other one is when I was in the army. United States Army, a few years back. What you're going to see is that there's a picture of me in obvious 1923, Austria-Hungary, where my grandmother was actually from. And you'll see, like I said, another picture of me in American uniform in which I served a few years back now. The paradigm switch is that whatever happened to me, I'm gonna go with the Second World War, was such a shock to my body that it. I'm gonna tell you guys a story that I don't tell anybody. Now, I've been to this German restaurant twice in my life. Once I was around 5 or 6 years old. Um, I got very sick there. My grandparents ended up taking me home. It was my birthday. I wanted to go to a German restaurant for my birthday. I got very sick, and I got taken home. Couldn't even eat the food. It was a bad day. I thought I got the flu. Well, my wife a few years back, my now ex-wife, her mom wanted to take me there for my birthday, and so we go, and we're ordering food, and again, my body did not it did not accept me being there. First I had this feeling of dread, feeling of impending doom. Not that anything was going to happen in that immediate time, but that you ever lost something and you held it, you had it, you even loved it. It's part of you. It was something that you loved so very much, and whatever that was, while I was in that restaurant, it it hit me in my chest as if my heart was ripped out. I apparently I became green in color. Um, my then wife and her dad had to walk me out, and this girl, and they were in their garb, in the German, with the stockings, the lederhosen, and she said to me, she said, "Are you okay? What's wrong?" and I saw her as somebody else. Like I saw her with a cigarette and dancing, and we were at a party, and everybody was happy, and there was red lipstick, and uh, it was such a beautiful time. But I was taking it as if I was so sick. I was so sick with whatever had happened. The cancer that was going through me at that time was so. It's hell. It was hell. I think that maybe I went to hell for a time for whatever had happened during that time. And yeah, my body doesn't ever want to go back to Germany or anything like that. So I will never go to a restaurant like that again. As much as I love the people and I love the food, my grandmother raised us with German food, and whatever happened to me. Now I know what happened to me, and I guess I'll finish the story. What I remember from my last life was it was very cold. There was snow on the ground, and there had been a shootout, and I had a gun. I had a handgun. I don't know why, but I had gotten shot, and I had pulled myself underneath of a tree, and it was so cold. It was just so cold. I wanted to go home. It was so cold, and I pulled myself under this tree, and it was so beautiful, even though that there's no leaves on it. And then I looked up. I was like this, and I don't know if someone walked up to me and shot me, or if I just died just like that. But I just remember being so cold. I wanted to go home. I was so lonely. I was so. We weren't supposed to be there. Like, why were we there? It's all for nothing. All for nothing. And sorry guys. I don't know why. I don't know why I just told you all that. But I only tell that story once, and you guys got it just now. So yeah, I'm gonna try to get off that subject, and we'll talk. Okay, timeline is switched. The dimensions. You're on the right track. So you're a time travel. Nice. No, 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 no. I'm not a time traveler. I'm not trying to say anything like that. Not at all. But yeah, I can remember my past life. Yes, and before that, I remember the War of 1812. Um, and I can go back pretty far, I think. Sometimes I try not to think like that because maybe there's a spirit who's close to me, who I'm remembering what he is presenting to me. So I try not to do that whole thing. But the War 1812, I do believe that I was there for that, and I remember there was kind of an earthquake and a lot of rain. Um, and sometimes I see the White House in snow, but um, I don't think it's snow. I think maybe it's ashes. Like I said, I try not to go back that far. The, my last life was harsh, no matter what, and I really try to stay away from that. What about you? Do you remember your past lives or anything like that? The thing is, I didn't really remember my past lives until the switch happened. Whenever the switch happened, um, it did something to me. It was like it was like there was. How am I going to explain this? It was like there was a something here that is following you around of all times. There's one, there's two, there's three, and nobody can see these things. Nobody can see these things. Maybe in camera or at the right angle. Sometimes you get a view of it. People will call it a ghost or an orb. But I think that our lives do stay with us, and I think that when we go up and we are judged at some point, I think that we're not judged on one thing. Not it's not like that. You're judged on the person that you are as you are. The love that you give off. When you give off that hate and something bad's happened and you think that you can't forgive, that stays with you too. But God isn't stupid. He's not going to judge you on an event that is you're carrying because the event was so harsh on your soul. It stuck with you. Yes, agreed. I agree totally. I agree totally. I can't see your picture, and usually I'm pretty good at telling people about their past lives. But let me see here. Yeah, I can't see you. But I'll take a look later for you if you want, and if I get a feel for anything, I would definitely let you know. Past lives are hard, and I was a C-section this time around, and there is a saying in Europe that if you're a C-section, it's because you were hung in your last life. Now I remember pretty damn well bleeding out under that tree, but whatever happened after is very possible that hmm, I don't know. Um, my consciousness is entering people's body while I sleep. I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Saucy. I get it. I totally get it. So are you a sin eater? If you know what that is. Oh, you are German. Wow, I can't believe I just told you that story and you are in Germany. Wow. Now that you blew my mind with. I definitely did not get that. And wow. That's crazy when that happens. I really did not think I didn't know you were German. That's crazy. Yes, a demon eater. Well, I know it really is. It really truly is. Especially if you are truly telling me the truth that you're from Germany, and I just told you all that. That is some next level stuff. I'm a demon eater, says Saucy. Well, let me say this to you. I am a very, very forgiving person. Okay, I um, I don't look at people's faults for what it is. People have hard times, and people fall on times that changes them as who they are. Um, Someone once told me that I keep my age as to stay young because of the way that I am with people. Um, Now, I'm not saying I will not fight back, and I will not, fight if you attack me. That's not what I'm saying at all. But if you give me an honest to God reason for the way that you feel, and you are not being malicious and you're not hurting other people for having to do so to make yourself feel better, I think that there's a parallel that you can be forgiven and you can talk and moderate and accept sin. But demons, on the other hand, a demon will devour you. Now, there's two ways that exorcism is going these days. There's one way where it's a battle. It's between, priests and God and Jesus and archangels and all that. But there's a new era coming. The new era, there are a there are congregations of nuns that are trying to bring these fallen who now have suffered and suffered and suffered, and they want to go back to God, not to fight, to serve. They made a mistake. They see Lucifer and his faults. They miss their brothers and sisters. They miss the glory that they once had. And these nuns, they go to the demon and they say, remember how glorious you are. Remember how glorious you were. Go back to that glory. Present yourself back to heaven. You know, Jesus will accept you if you could just say sorry, if you could just see the error of your ways. Go back to Christ. Go back to love. Go back to serving God. The insanity, the black hole of darkness is nothing but an end to an end. And only that end is the war that will destroy us all, remake us all, and who knows where we end up after that. I totally agree with all that with you guys though. Okay, that boy, where do you feel your last life? Like what is the feeling that you have that has been brought to you by your last life that you could remember for what you remember? And Saucy, I'm going to ask you the same thing. And I'm expecting you to take this seriously. I don't want you to be like a if you're being a joker here. You know, I've had my share of jokes and been a funny guy too, but that's not what this is for. Anybody else in here that wants to communicate? Have a deep seated conversation. If not, I'm going to move on to my last piece. So what I'm asking is, if you feel your last life at all, and you may not, and that's okay. We'll just leave it alone. If you felt your last life at all, where would it where would it come from? Where does it dwell? Where are your memories um called from? Do you go past a place where you're like, oh, I have deja vu from that. I remember that a long time ago. Or, maybe you're on a train and you see a valley and you're like, wow, I lived in a place like that once. That's more or less what I'm asking. The most pure part of how you feel in your last life, what are those feelings if you have them at all? And my last question slash um, configuration of what is coming, I will share with you in a second when you're done. You're no, you're lucky. You're lucky. Um, I sometimes I wish I did. Sometimes I wish I did. So okay. All right, guys. This is what I think's coming. This is my psychic side talking. The aliens. People are talking about aliens. The alien thing is just, it's natural now. Everybody's talking about it. Everybody knows about it. Everybody wants in on it. What are they? Who are they? Where do they come from? Blah, blah, blah. Okay, we all know Lucifer is the deceiver of all, right? Isn't that what we've learned our entire lives? Yes. So, what I think, the way that this is going to go is this: the aliens will come one day and they're going to say, you know, come with us. We will give you utopia. We will give you the life that you've always wanted. Come with us. This is your rapture. This is your time to go to God. Blah, blah, blah. All the good things that, you would want to hear. I think at that exact time, um, CERN, or by way of a portal opening, Lucifer will come out and say, no, 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 these beings are not from here. You go with them, you will die. You go with them, you will be their food. I will protect you from them. All you have to do is bend the knee. Now, these beings, these aliens, at the same time are going to say, no, 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 no. You will bend the knee to us. He is an old demon. Um, he is not God. And the God that you want, you just get on a ship with us and you come to us. This is rapture. This is the next level. Exactly. Deception. You're 100% in. You get it. You're on. That's what it is. And we all know what we've learned in the Bible. Just because there's two lies doesn't make it a truth. In fact, all two lies makes it is a better lie. I think it was there's a German commander that said, if you're going to lie, make it good. Well, that's what we're looking at here. Um, what we do know, okay, is that when we went to Pluto and we shined the lights on, and we went up there with the um, whatever telescope that was. Neil deGrasse Tyson said the lights are on. There is something living up there. There are beings that are living on the coldest planet in our solar system. You got it. You're 100% right. It will be. That's exactly what it's going to be. Um, they're already here. Um, they've done a really, really good job of hiding themselves as of late. They've changed their game. When they were here in 2017, I don't think they knew how to manage our um, they didn't know how to manage our living space as it is now. Um, our reality had changed so much since the last time that they were here. It took a little bit of time for them to get into the game, but now they're in the game. Um, Now you have them, I have them. A majority of you all that are here in the chat room right now, you all have pictures of these things coming through portals, leaving through portals, creating portals. And what do they always look like? They always look like giant monsters. They always look like the devil. Um, it's always humans in a line going into a spaceship or being eaten. Like I've seen a lot of crazy ones lately. I've gone back and looked at the ones from 2017 to 2022, and they were trying to tell us back then what's coming is a it's revelation. It's the horses. It's the vials. It's all of it. This always happens. It's an end of the world special. And we should know that, but we forget our own truth, and it drives me nuts. It probably drives you guys nuts too, because I know you guys see it. Now, what do you think? What is going to, we already know what COVID was. Okay? We already know now what the aliens are doing. What do you guys think the next thing is? Yep, you got it. That's exactly what it is. Yeah. Yeah, the reset. And I was just talking to my dad about this because he was saying about the reset. My grandmother, man, she lived through two of them. She had World War I and two. She had two resets. Um, and then you had the what was that flu called in 1918? Another reset. Like, what was going on? Those were major events that killed a lot of people. Yeah, and the thing is, every time we get reset, we go the other way with it. It's insane. Oh, you want to know what Lucifer looks like? Oh boy, what a great question. Okay, when Lucifer, how am I going to say this to you? Lucifer will come as a being that wants purity as usual. He will look like he will not look average. He will have a he will have a he'll have a spunk to him. He'll have a his face will be like, not to say like glass, but it'll be like a porcelain doll, if you will. It'll be everybody's face, but nobody's face. Lucifer always wants to stand out. He does not want to look like us, but he does want to be part of the reckoning that we will bring forth through him. When he showed himself to me, um, he came through these mountains and he came down, and there was a train going past, and he put himself in front of that train. Now, if I don't know if you've ever seen Fern Gully, but the face in Fern Gully, if we would turn that face from black to white, it would kind of look like that face. But that is only a face of finding a host. He has to find a host, and the host that he has to find is going to be have to hold his body, hold his what he is exactly. Now, when I was in the army, there was special forces guys that invited me to a weekend. I can't believe I'm telling you guys this. Last time I just got killed over it. These guys were literally making their bodies strong enough for what is called the Black Awakening. Now, during the Black Awakening, um, I don't know if it's an eclipse or if the sun actually goes black. I don't know how this works. Um, but basically, demons come out of the sun, they're released, and they are invited into hosts, which they already know where these hosts are because these deals have already been made in that way that they're perfectly possessed. Yeah, that is the other way. I try to look like Christ. See, he hates Christ so much, I don't think that he would go that route. But I'm not saying that he wouldn't. Um, my thing with that is he would more go with President Xi of China. President Xi of China, he doesn't have a religion. His religion is himself. And that would be a way for Lucifer to go. He would want a religion to be around him, just like the Nazis. With the Nazis, you can see it's Lucifer pulling the strings because you have the perfection of man. You have the runes, SS runes, lightning bolts, the return of Lucifer, lightning bolts. You have the eagle, and the swastika is a sun. I will soar above the sun. I'll soar above the clouds. I will be like the Most High. He's literally telling you in Isaiah how he'll come back, and he did. Um, Over and over, this is Lucifer's thing. He tells you how he's coming back, and we always laugh and say that never happened. So the way that he'll come back this time, okay, what scares me is this. In Revelation, there is a wound to Lucifer's face. Now that wound reminds me a little bit of Trump, and I voted for Trump, so let's not play. I'm being honest with you guys.
There's something about Trump when he got up that is different. Um, there's a smoke of oil of money that he smells, man. He knows it. He's part of it. It's part of his blood. It's part of him. We're watching right now the peace treaties around the world is the beginning of total annihilation of everything. It's just the start. Um, I have to laugh because I called it. I called all this what 6 years ago. You can go back and look at my videos. I called all this. This is old to me. Um, yeah, you got it. How I'll see it happening as well as with the host. You're probably starting to see the hosts now. They're see the when people are taking those demons in, there's something about their face that they can't hold it at all times, and they'll kind of it'll look like it'll kind of look like a shadow will come out for brief seconds. Yes, Lucifer was definitely there in Germany, and he was there in Russia as well. Time in the sky. I see that. You got it. I know you do. Spectrum, I know you do. Does infinity exist? I would say, yeah. So, okay, first I'll go with infinity, then I'll go with the hosts. Okay, infinity only exists because um, matter is so dense. Breaking through that matter, we don't know how many walls may exist past that wall of the density, and that's the best way I can describe that to you. Um, if we are living in a CERN, type of scenario right now, we're living in a collider, and right now particles just collided, and right now we're living in a collided form of a CERN project. We would never know, and even in seconds, right now, how long have we lived? Um, 73 trillion years, something like that. So to think in infinity is to think in a realm of possibility that um, only acquires more and more time. The host, yeah. So the host, all right. What you're going to see with the host is this. How am I going to explain this? You're going to see it in their eyes first. Um, their eyes are going to not split, but they're going to when they blink, even when they're blinking, they're going to be blinking like this. It's something that happens. It's something that they do. Um, I think it goes back to the reptilian side of who they are. Now, recently, I looked at a study that a lot of these hosts they want to be RH positive or RH negative. I don't know why they want that rhesus monkey gene, but it has something to do with it. I believe O negative is the reptilian side. That would make sense to me, but it also makes sense why the Nazis were looking for the O negative genes and in twins at that, because if they found that, then they could find a host for these serpent like beings from a long, long time ago. Yes, it is. Do you think so about the Ark of the Covenant? See that really I see. I think that Jesus and Mary they have to be O positive because the gene itself has to be um you know well given out to like everyone. And with that, I don't know if you know this, but um, cows are closest to O positive if you were giving, you know, milk to a baby and such. So for Jesus to have you know, accepted the milk from the udder in you know the in the manger. I would think that he would have had to be O positive, but I don't know that to be a fact. I'm not a doctor. Yeah, you got it. That's exactly what I'm saying. You already beat me to it. I don't like I said I'm speaking as just this is just me talking, but it's a theory. I would think that Mother Mary would have to have been O positive to be able to accept any other blood type coming from anybody else. Even if God Himself is, we're gonna go with RH, um, O positive and RH, that would be a death sentence that wouldn't be able to happen. Now the other way around, it works just fine. If it's not my story to tell, but a friend of mine is O positive and had a boyfriend that was RH negative. Let's see here. What do we got? How big is the entire human experience in the whole compared to infinity? All right, if that's going to be a true question and you're being very serious about it, and I can tell that you're being cool, so I'm going to answer it just in the way that I can. Okay, string theory. Okay, that's what we're going to go with here because nothing else fits in a way that um, it's not, it doesn't, it's not as vast as being forever. It gives you an ending. So in string theory, there are so many realities that it is infinity, okay? But with that infinity, there are rules. So, in this reality that we're in right now, I'm going to take this and I'm going to. Now, later on, my dad might need a piece of paper, right? He needs to write down a number. He goes to write down the number and he can't find the right diameter to get the numbers on, and a 7 looks like a 1, blah, blah, blah. So, in his dimension, my father's dimension, um, he's been um, he's been uh, he's been subject to being uh, disavowed because of one little thing that I did because I was angry because of the question that you asked. Now, had I not done that, his reality is just the same. Now, does my reality change because he doesn't get the number or job that he was supposed to? Now, when I ask him for money, he's going to say, I'm sorry, I'm not working right now. I really can't help you. So now I have to go to somebody else. And that somebody else might tell somebody else, yo, he's getting drug money, man. He's not doing so well. He ain't looking so good. So that is reality. What we're speaking on right now is the vastness of infinity reality. Um, but there has to be an end to it. So let's go back now. Um, particle collisions and smashing atoms. There is a point in time when that happens. Go and watch a nuclear detonation. Go to YouTube, find one. There is a moment in that time, and you'll see it. You can literally see it when it's happening. That everything changes. It's almost like reality itself is is different. It's changed. It's something else. Um, and others say, that's just the way the light's coming off clouds, or that's just the way that your the way that your heart feels when you see an atomic bomb going off. Now, I don't think it's any of those things. I think that if we were to blow ourselves up through oblivion, I think that that would be the end of infinity as we know it. Our reality would be completely over. There would be no more reality as it is seen to us. Reality itself would cease to exist because nobody would know what reality is. If there was no aliens, no
um, other being that is social and is watching and is um, taking in the um, what matters and doesn't matter as it is to be, you know, a life being, a being of life. Now, my question would be this: when we're smashing particles and colliding these things, is that changing the fabric of reality as we know it? As to if string theory is the game, and this here, all this right here, is reality, and we're living in all three all at the same time. All these realities are the same. This one is a little different than this one. This one I have a brunette wife instead of a blonde wife. This one I don't have a wife at all. Okay, if these two realities are stunted or broken into, if there's some sort of incident that gives it a, what would we call it in a computer, it is got a virus. If these two have a virus and this third one can't adapt to the virus and the way the virus is changing our reality, is it then possible that we can destroy ourselves in a way that isn't, isn't number one sustainable, and number two able to fix?
Oh my God, that's crazy, Saucy. I can't get into that with you. That's just that's too far out. Oh yeah, I got you. Spectrum, we're gonna talk. What within the next couple of days? What's a good day for you? Tell me now and here, and I'll figure something out. Um, life is in the blood, DNA. I'm 100% with you, shamelessly. I'm with you. Yeah. Yes, Saucy. I do. That is definitely part of it because if we all lay down and go to sleep and decide not to do anything, the vultures picking at us is the reality that we're receiving, asking for, and going with. But being that we stand up, drive, go places, experience things, um, the reality that we concur is the reality that we put together as a whole. Now, collectively, are we as a collective making that reality? Yes, we are. We can't or it's not that we're collectively going to the moon, but collectively we need to put enough people together to put the math together, to put create engines, create space vehicles to make all that happen. Our reality then takes us to the moon, and as you're basically that's what you're saying. I'll just laying it out for everybody as I see it. All right, what did I want to do last? What did I want to do last? All right, yes, Buzz Aldrin. A few years back, Buzz Aldrin said, okay, in 2017, everybody was going to, you know, South Pole, and Buzz Aldrin had a complete meltdown. First, he had a stroke or heart attack. Nobody knows because nobody will tell us the truth. Whatever. But then he wakes up, and the first thing that he does is grab his phone and he says, "These things are evil, and they are the ancient evil that we've been fighting forever." Now, a lot of people said, "Oh, he just came out of a stroke. What did that mean?" Well, what gave him the stroke to, make him feel that way? And then he went on to say, that these things are, we are going to have to fight against them, and these beings are coming here, and we have to build an army, blah, blah, blah. 7 p.m. tomorrow. Let me know if that works for you. I will let you know by tonight. I'll let you know by tonight. As you know, the my significant other is going to have a baby very soon, so I'm working around that right now. So I know that's why everything I'm doing is a little bit you know, off course. But very, very soon we will have a time and date, and we're going to be doing things on a regular schedule. And hopefully, maybe me and you will talk. We'll talk. I really am looking forward to it because I love. If you haven't seen Spectrum of Light's pictures, oh my goodness! If you like my stuff, you'll definitely like it. Check it out for yourself. Like I'm saying. Um, but yeah, I love you guys. I do. I love y'all so much. And you're right. Shamelessly, you're right. People are waking up. What's sad is the people that aren't waking up are in a nightmare, and now they are becoming a nightmare because they're living in it, and they're becoming what they think is, what this nightmare is. Oh, I thank you so much, Saucy. I really do. I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. Um, this road's been tough, let me tell you. Um, I remember when people were just calling me crazy for going. I wasn't even saying much. I would just come on here, ask questions, and we would conversate. And it was, oh man, he's crazy. Yo, call the cops, call 911, get him in the hospital. But nah, this is open talk. I don't want anyone to come in here and ask a question and feel like they're going to be bullied because the question they ask is as far out as I want to answer. I love answering questions that, you know, are tapping my brain in a way that I have to actually think about it, receive it, picture it, and give it to you. Thank you so very much. Uh, yeah, boy, I thank you. I really do thank you so much for saying that. Yeah, like I said, I just I give everybody a shot, and everybody deserves a shot. Everybody deserves a say, and hey, if a person wants to take their time to make a joke and be a troll and not matter as far as the conversation that we're trying to hold, then that's on them. But I really all I want is people to be able to get their word out, get a question out, and even if I don't know the question, maybe someone in here does. But like the bullying thing and all that, it's not for this room. That's not where we're at. Oh yeah, me too, Spectrum. Me too. No, no, what's crazy about them calling us crazy is usually like their word frame and the way that they bring up their conversations is so like it's so medieval and so like it's not even direct. It's like they're talking about one thing and they're bringing up another through like dense conversation. It's like, what are you talking about? Oh yeah, I should go to the hospital. But why? Because you don't understand what I'm saying. Maybe you should be here for 10 more minutes and take it on. Thank you so very much. It's coming, and I am feeling it. That boy, I hope you add me. I'll be adding you. Try to add you right now. Matter of fact, let's see here. No, it won't let me. It won't let me add you right now, but I will. Um, like I said, I try to add everybody. If you're in my chat room, you're getting added. And like I said, we're gonna be trying to have a actual time that we'll be meeting up. It'll probably be more West Coast time, most likely after 8 or 9. But that's only because we have people from Ireland, England, Germany. As you see, I want you guys to be a big part of this too because that's where my family's from. My people came over here on a boat. Um, they got kicked out of England for turning the cannons on Parliament, but we came over here on a boat. No, I don't do the bullying thing. If you bully, you're out. No, you're being gang stalked. Oh my goodness. I was gang stalked all last summer. Be careful because they will do things to try to get you in accidents and everything else. Make sure you check your luck or your love nuts and all that stuff. Be very very careful. There's people, if you are part of this, and they know if you're part of this, they will do everything in their power to eliminate you. It is definitely no joke. Yeah, no, I miss my little ones. My other my ex-wife, I think she got kind of scared of the gang stalking thing, and at first she thought it was that I was maybe getting a little bit famous on here, and maybe I had like a paparazzi of some sort. But it came to a point it wasn't fun anymore, and our relationship was we were getting further and further away from each other. It's very sad. But the girl that I'm with now, she really she loves me. She cares about me. There's no other person in this world that I think that would love me the same way that she does. She really does. She loves me with everything she got. Yep, you got it. You're 100%. Yeah, no, the bloodline thing definitely is real. Um, and here's why. So I saw a WikiLeak, and in the WikiLeak it said that the Americans, most of the Americans that are being taken or abducted by what they believe to be gray aliens, um, or reptilians, were of German descent, and these people of German descent that were being abducted, a lot of them had grandparents and family that were not in the regular army, but were more in the SS, in the Totenkopf Death Head, and what was another one? They called it the Lebens. I'm not going to try to speak German. I've said enough already as it is, probably. Oh, me too. That one's hard. I've been working on that for a little while now. You got it. You got it. 100%. I'm with you. I'm 100% with you. It's going to be fun. Spectrum, we have a vast knowledge of what's going on here, and I'm happy that you finally, or we both finally, are on the same page to where we can speak on a level that it's not that we're scaring people off or bringing people in, because we're way past that part of it. We're at a phase where we have the people that are going to watch. We have the people that aren't going to watch. Um, but the people that are watching are going to bring more people in and more people in, and it's going to go from from an even keel to something a lot of fun. I think. Oh yeah, definitely shameless. Oh, you have no idea. Oh, you have no idea. I um, I had a brother that passed away. I'm going to tell you a story, and I think you'll like this one. I had a brother that passed away, and it was a really hard time on our family. He was a year younger than me. We were more or less twins. We did everything together, and my parents just were not in a place to be driving or going anywhere. So my dad gives me a letter to take to the post office. It needed to be sent out for the my brother's job. He was a corrections officer. So I go up and I go to send this letter, and the woman that was there, I had come on, do we write letters in our day and age? That's just not what we do. But I wrote the letter backwards. The way that I wrote it was I wrote it on the right side instead of the left side or something like that. The address and all that. So this lady like completely comes undone. Starts cursing. The devil was inside her that day. So I did it all over again. I didn't come undone. I just said, my brother just died, and this was the last thing that I needed was to hear you, you know, act like this. And I gave her the letter, and I left. Now I'm walking down the street. It's a little city, and this woman comes out of nowhere. She's African American, and she says to me, "Can I talk to you?" I'm like I'm ready to be in tears. I'm like, "Yeah, sure. What's going on?" She goes, "I need to tell you something, and I think that you'll know who it's from. There's a war going on. It's happening. It's going on right now. It's going on all around us. Your brother has been called back early. You have to stay here. You've been granted to stay. Your family's going to need you. Your brother is at war with the devil and his attack on the heavens." And at first, I'm not taking it. I'm kind of taking it like, yeah, okay, that's very nice. And she goes, you know, make sure when it's cold and it gets real cold to get shoes that are extra warm. And my grandma used to say that. And there's no way that she could have known that. So now I'm in, and we're kind of talking. We're going back and forth. So I thank her. I look back and she's gone. This lady's gone. I wanted to thank her again. Like, thank you for bringing me out of that. I was in a really bad place. And I'm in the car and it hits me. I'm at a post office. I'm sending a letter. I'm getting a message. I just met Angel Gabriel. Angel Gabriel just told me there's a war in heaven. It's going down. You'll see your brother again. The war is real. You've been granted to stay. Go on about your business. Make your family feel better. Do what you can here. And when you get brought up, the war is real. Just be ready. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. It changed my life. It really did. Um, was it really, Spectrum? Get out of here. My grandmother's brother was Totem Kampf, so I know about special forces a little bit. Her brother was in the fuck is it called? The one that has it looks like a, I can't even. I'll draw it. I'll draw it for you. But I know that it means something special. Um, and don't blow my spot up, hopefully. So on his um, on his cuff was this symbol here. I need a tissue. Got a little bit choked up there. There's my tea. I see here. Yes, we do. We really do. Oh, we're going to talk. No, for sure. We definitely are going to talk. Um, fight against bioweapons. Don't cry. And I was. That's why I had to grab a tissue and blow my nose a little bit. I was in the same place. Get out of here. Yeah. My my grandfather wasn't in that. He was in the third infantry division, and as an American, is my grandmother, who was the German, married an American soldier in the end, and my grandfather was a third infantry. He had a BAR, and he was on a place called the Bridge of the Gods, and he was
shooting tracers at a tank division. I believe it was Rommel, Rommel's tank division, and he said that he's on this bridge, and the first shots went behind him. It was a German 88. He turned around, saw that he was shooting. The second ones went in front of him. He said he knew exactly where the next ones were coming, and sure enough, he got hit so hard that it blew his arms. Basically, what saved his arms was that the gun was literally fused to his arms, and somehow he survived it. The god, he was on the bridge of the gods, and the gods definitely they saved him. See, do you see this though? See how many people that we're losing? There is something about that, and it has to do with us. It really does. Um, God is doing this in a way that I know how you all feel, and I know that you all feel the same way as I do, and you're ready to go up too. Just call us. We're ready. Please, God, just call us. We're ready. We love you. We'll do anything for you. Why will you call us? You know, we try so hard, but we're strong. We're strong for the people we love. We're strong for the people around us. I don't mean to get emotional, but I love God. I miss my brothers and sisters up there, but I will fight down here. If I'm chosen to do so, if that's why I'm here, then that's what I'm here for, and that's what I'll do. Sorry to get almost. You're so ready too. Yeah, yeah. My brother's name is Michael. He had a tattoo done of the war in heaven on his side, and you know, as soon as he got that, I felt like he was marked. You know, yeah, I agree with you. Oh yeah, really, they're all here. The four angels are here. That's why we're getting the weather that we're getting. Um, and the other group is here too. I can promise you that. There's not a not a doubt in my mind. Have you have you ever seen the movie Vivarium? If not, I'll just give you like a little bit about it. But um, there's something about that movie that is you have to just let me know if you've seen it. Is that I'm gonna go with that's a yes. All right. In the movie Vivarium, there's a little boy. He's not even a little boy. He's an alien, but whatever. He comes to a point, and he has this this speech pattern at a point, and he sounds more like I'd say a 20-year old than the 6-year old that he looks like. The voice that they used for him in the scene where he's still a little boy but sounds like a 25-year-old. I had never seen that movie before the other night. That is the voice. That is the closest voice of Lucifer that I've ever heard in my life. When Lucifer was in my dream, the dream with the train and all that I told you guys about, that was it. Um, it is. I don't even like talking about it because it sends a charge into me. It's a different kind of charge, and I'm gonna leave it kind of brief. But um, I'll send you a little bit of the clip just so you know the voice when it comes. Um, yeah, not good. And I've now heard it in a couple movies, so they're getting us ready for something. The fact that I've never heard that voice before, and then I've heard it in a couple movies in the last few months, I think they're getting us ready for someone that's here, and
this voice is going to be weird, but they want to get us ready for it. Yeah, if you haven't seen it, it's not like you need to. Yeah, that dream, uh, it shatters me. Um, Shamelessly, that dream. Wow, I don't know why I had to have that. That was just too much. That was too much. The charge that I got from that dream was just, whew, no, I can't do it. I'm not doing it. I gotta stay away. No, 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 no. It's too much. No, I shamelessly, I'm grateful that you listened to it and heard it. Um, I've never dreamt like that um ever in my life. The way that that dream went was something different altogether. The voice, I will never be able to get out of my head. The feeling and power of pure, it was just ecstasy, this pure feeling of just perfection of the way that a human should feel. Like it was just sex almost, but not. I can't even put it into words. And I don't want to make it seem like it was such a good thing because no, I won't do it again. Yeah, it's exactly what my grandmother would say. You literally just, I heard my grandmother's voice when you say that. Um, that voice. Ooh, I'll never forget him. I forget the words. I remember he said, Bail, you know, Bail, make it cold for the good guys when they get here. And he was like, there are some other demons. And he said, and make sure those kids on the train, make sure they're already dead when the train shows up. But like time had gone. It wasn't like it's gonna happen tomorrow. It was as if like it was very sorted out. It had to do with Russia. It had to do with summer, winter, summer, winter. It was very, very calculated, and um, it was a lot. It was a lot to take in. It was pure power, like power on a existence that my dad said my eyes glowed for 3 days. He said they were like diamonds behind my eyes. He said they kept just sparkling, sparkling. I don't know what that means, but that's just what he said. I think I know what voice. Yeah, yeah, the broken statues. It's weird that you bring that up because I had one similar to that the other night. That's so weird that you brought that up because you know what? I wasn't sure I was going to share that, but I dreamt that I don't know if I was buying a church or I was helping in a church, but there was no lights, and I'm walking over these floorboards that were, it was like dust everywhere. The floorboards were moving like where you could fall through the floor, and I didn't want to fall or crush any of the statues of Joseph or Mary or anything like that, and you know I'm looking down to not smash them, and then when I looked up, there was a statue. I don't know if you guys know exactly what Lucifer looks like. Um, he has a couple of different forms, but there's one in Israel, in Iraq, that is very much. the way that I would say that he looks. He's always, taking in these pictures. He's always taking babies from a bucket, and that's how you see him. Whatever. Um, but yeah, damn it, I hate seeing that. I hate it. I hate it. Yeah, I do think we have to get ready. Like, I don't know. This is what I'm gonna say. This is how I'm gonna break this. Um, I don't know if you guys knew who Father Malachi Martin is or not, but in his early sessions of, when he would go on, and talk on different shows, he spoke about the Vatican's telescope, and he talked about how um, they knew that something was coming, and they knew it would be coming around the time that Jesus was born. Okay, now they what they do know about Jesus being born is it's between, okay, Jesus is born within a 5 year difference of, so zero being the year zero, it's -6 or +6. So in 30 years, at 30, um, so 2036. If Jesus died at 33, that would mean la 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 la. Would that be 2036? Um, that'd be 10. So what? 2020. So 2026, right? That would be 10 years. You get what I'm saying, though. Now you get the Vatican's math. I can't do it in front of me right now. I'd have to see it, but that's the Vatican's math. And what they know is that there is something coming, for sure. They don't know what it is. Back then, they thought it was an asteroid. Then I heard it was a spaceship. I'm not gonna play that game with them because I don't know. But what we do know is that between 2026 and 2036, uh, we got some real prizes coming up. So my thing is with that is, okay, between 2026, 2036, um 2032 is the date they're using as of now for that asteroid 2024. I think that that's a hoax. I don't think that's the date. 2032 is the date that they're using because of the Masonic, uh, you know, the Masonic calendar. 2032 and or 2032 and 33 are in very, very big Masonic numbers, as is Friday the 13th. Um, if you've been following, Friday the 13th of 2032 is supposed to be the day that the world ends. So yeah, we have a lot to get into, and I think the Vatican needs to open their doors and give us some reality instead of hiding the truth. And like, remember when we were all supposed to go to Area 51 and invade? Maybe the Vatican is the really one to invade. They don't look very heavily armed. Get out of here. I believe you. Shamelessly, I believe you. Even if you're lying to me, I wouldn't care. I believe you. I'm taking you. I'm taking your word. I've heard about that book. My uncle. I have an uncle that is how am I going to say this? I have an uncle that is he worked for BP International, and he likes to go to many places and buy many things. And what you're talking about right there, deep, very, very deep. Yes, exactly. Yes, Spectrum. You're 100% right. And hey, Trace, what's going on? Shamelessly, what do you think? What do you think that means, though? Like, where do we go with that? Like, what is the what's the big payoff? Like, you don't got to give us the whole like stars are falling and everything's breaking up, but what do you think? Okay. Like, do you think that it's a what do they call it? An allegory where there's something in it within it that's in it? And Spectrum of Light, I wanted to ask you something too. Um, have you been looking at your stuff 360 degrees? Because I saw a few of your pictures, and man, I flipped them around. I took a careful look at them. Um, I changed the what was it? I changed the coding, I guess, to make it more make it pop. And wow, you got a lot going there that like I can't bring it to your attention because I feel rude, and I already think that you know anyway. But they're now trying to tell us something. They're obviously trying to communicate in a way that um, it's obvious. Yeah, that's very interesting. Very, very interesting. Um, I went to Catholic school as a child, and so we were told exactly what you were actually saying. We were told that Jesus was born during the fall equinox, so September. The reason why September 11th happened on that date is because it was Jesus' birthday. Um, we also were taught that the crucifixion was in the spring. The spring is rebirth, but it's also the spring equinox. Spring equinox again is the tilt of the earth, and which brings the cross. What do they call it? The cross that is come on, what do they call that? The cosmic cross that is in our skies. Basically, it comes across on that day, the day of the equinox. And on the day of the fall equinox, more or less the opposite happens. So, yeah, no, good move, good thinking. No, definitely never being rude to you. Spectrum, you're my. I actually I think you might be one of my favorite hosts. You truly are one of the only people that see as vividly and as to the point of like you see their eyes as I do. You see their shields. You see their. You even see the writing on their on their chest plates. Like no, you are definitely one of the best in this business, and I would never put you down in any way. In fact, I would be your biggest ally. You need anything from my side, I'm with you. Yeah, I have a couple of documents that I'm just going to say this. It's truth, but I'm saying this as a fun. One of my documents is that when my ancestors came here, there was one woman. Her name was Lady by him. She lived in Salem and was making a life there. Well, apparently somebody wanted her house. Well, this is how the story goes, and they called her a witch. And she was, I think, the last person tried for witchcraft at Salem. So that is one of my stories. The reason why my family is not in England, um, from my dad's side, is when the Catholics came to Parliament. Apparently, one of my ancestors was a general or a colonel or something. I don't know, whatever they had back then. And he got his boys together. They got on horses and they went to Parliament. And the cannons in Parliament apparently used to point outward. Well, my ancestors took the and his posse took the cannons, turned them around, and blew up Parliament. So, a couple cool little stories. Yes, the crux exactly. You're good. You always save me. I love it. Yeah, no, you guys are the best. I couldn't ask for any better.